Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something super important, the economics of a simple jar of honey. We're going to break down how you can price your packaged honey to make sure you're actually getting paid for all that hard work, both yours and your bees.
So, let me ask you this. How much is your honey really worth? It's a question that trips up so many beekeepers. It's so easy to undervalue this amazing product. But you know what? Today, we're going to fix that. We're going to build a price from the ground up, step by step. And listen to this quote. It's from the former owner of Billy Bee Honey. So this person knows their stuff. They said, "I could not believe how cheaply beekeepers were willing to price their honey." Wow. I mean, that really says it all, doesn't it? It points to this huge problem of underpricing. And the crazy part is, it's happening in the one place where you, the beekeeper, have total control, your own honey house.
Okay, so let's dive right in. The first section is all about finding your base price. Think of this as the foundation of your profitability. If you want to build a profitable price, you've got to have a rock-solid foundation. This first step, it's absolutely crucial.
So, what's a bulk price? Well, it's the price per pound or kilo that big commercial operations pay for raw, unprocessed honey. And before you even think about a jar or a label, you've got to know this number for your area. How do you find it? Simple. Talk to other commercial beekeepers or check out the bee journals. Seriously, this price is your bedrock. It is the absolute minimum you should ever consider. Yeah, think of it just like this. Your starting point is the current bulk honey price. That number is your price floor. It's the value of your honey before you've put in a single minute of your time or a single penny into packaging it. So, rule number 1, never, ever price your raw product below this. Okay, so we've got our foundation. Now for the fun part. Let's talk about adding value through packaging. Because every single thing you do to get that honey from a big barrel into a beautiful little jar for the shelf, well, that adds real tangible value. And you have got to get paid for every single one of those steps.
So we can break this whole journey down into 4 key stages. First, you're sourcing supplies. Then you're getting your facilities and equipment ready. Third, you're actually processing and packaging the honey. And finally, you're finalizing the product. Each one of these stages represents your hard work, your investment, and value that you are adding.
Let's start with supply costs. Okay, so you've got the obvious stuff, right? Your attractive jars and lids, the cardboard boxes to put them in. But did you think about the freight charges to get all that stuff delivered to your door? Or what about the labor, your time, to unload all those supplies? See, it all adds up and you have to account for it. And then there's the facility and equipment overhead. This is the stuff we often forget to factor in. We're talking about the cost of the building itself, keeping the lights on, the heat running. You need a dry, rodent-proof space to store everything. You've got tanks to reliquefy the honey, bulk storage containers, a system for packaging and labeling. These aren't just random expenses. They are absolutely essential investments to create a quality product. Okay, now for the nitty-gritty, the processing and labeling costs. This is where your time really comes into play. Think about the energy costs to warm up and strain the honey, the labor, your labor, to package every single jar. Then you've got the cost of designing and printing your labels, plus the time it takes to stick them on the jars and the boxes. And hey, if you have a traceability system, that's a cost too. It all needs to be in there. All right, so you might think, phew, the lid's on, I'm done. But not so fast. Because your work isn't over. You're not just packaging honey. You are running a business. And building a brand, well, that adds a whole other layer of value. And of course, cost. Yeah, these are your business operations costs. This is where your product stops being just a product and starts becoming a brand. We're talking about the hustle of developing marketing channels, right? The cost of gas and your time for deliveries. And maybe the most important thing, the work it takes to build customer loyalty, so people keep coming back for more of your honey. Now, this is a really cool tip, a great little rule of thumb. The suggestion is to take about 5% of your gross sales and put it right back into advertising. Don't look at this as just another expense. No. This is a strategic investment in growing your brand for the future. So, okay, we have tracked all of these different steps, all these hidden costs. We've added up all the value. So now, the million-dollar question. How do we put it all together to get a final price? A price that doesn't just cover your costs, but actually makes you a profit. And here it is. It all boils down to this really simple but super powerful formula. Your profitable price equals that bulk price we started with,
plus all those value-add costs. And I mean all of them, from the freight on your jars to your electricity bill to that 5% you set aside for advertising, every single cost. And let's just be really, really clear about something. Making a profit is not a bad thing. This quote says it perfectly. We are in the bee business to make money, profit. This isn't just a fun hobby on the side. To run a sustainable business, you need to make a reasonable profit for all your hard work and all your expertise. You deserve it.
So when you get right down to it, you're faced with a big choice. Option A, you do the work, you account for every single cost, and you set a profitable retail price. Or option B, you sell your honey in bulk and you let somebody else do all that work and capture all that extra profit.
And here's the brutally honest bottom line. If you do all the math, you add up every single cost, and you find that you just can't make a profit packaging your honey, then don't do it. Seriously. It's actually smarter, economically, to just sell it for the bulk price and save yourself the headache. Which brings us to the final question, and it's really the only one that matters. You've done all the work, right? You've looked after the bees, you've harvested the honey, you've created this amazing, beautiful product. Your price needs to reflect all of that value. So let me just ask you, are you charging what you're worth?